Hello, everyone. I'm James Jacobson in Maui, Hawaii.
You almost hesitated there, like you weren't quite sure where you were. I'm Claire Mansell in London, England.
No, you know why I hesitate? You picked that up. I hesitated because I was going to introduce this. This is Chloe. Chloe is a foster dog that, is a dog that we are fostering. And she is melting my heart a little bit. And anyway, this is Chloe.
I don't think Chloe's actually real because the only time I've seen Chloe is when she's doing that. She's just like.
Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe
I could not do that with a golden retriever.
No. Do you see a bald spot? No, because it's just lighting.
No, that's
lighting.
Listener, there is no bald spots.
There's nothing. There's nothing when I turn my head. Anyway, she's a very cute dog who, what can I say? She's melting my heart.
I mean,
but that is why I hesitated, because dogs are making a big difference in the world. And this week on Dog Podcast Network, which is what we're talking about on this little live, we're talking about the shows that we are releasing this week. We have an episode on Dog Edition called My Dog, the Mayor. What are we talking about in that show?
Well, actually, both the Long Leash and Dog Edition are related to the changes that dogs can bring in our life, but we'll come on to the Long Leash in a second. So this one is about dog mayors, and some of which have been put up as kind of spoof candidates in elections, and some of which are actually doing a great deal of good because they're fundraisers for great things like historical buildings. And there is a town called, and only in the States, Rabbit Hash. I love the name of that town.
Yes, that sounds more like a British town.
Yeah, and they are doing a fundraiser whereby you vote for your mayor, and it's been a series of dogs, and this is a great thing that they do, and everybody's happy about it. There's also a dog called Mayor Max who has been helping people out during COVID, and he's been doing lots of wonderful, supportive things. And I think what I took away from this, and you can take away different things because this is about democracy and dogs and things, but I took away that we need more dog figureheads in high important positions, you know?
It is part of our series on Wag the Vote, which is encouraging people to go out and make a difference by voting, because dogs would do it. And it's an interesting take. It's fun, and you'll find out some extraordinary things about dogs that get elected to do things that maybe they shouldn't do. But anyway,
and maybe they should do. This is what I mean.
Because they do unify the community. Turned out to be a fundraiser. You'll check it out and that's on Dog Edition. You can find that at dogedition.com or wherever you get your podcasts or YouTube. The other show we wanted to let you, one of the other shows that have just been released this week, is a show that I host. It is the most podcasty sounding show that Dog Podcast Network does. It's called The Long Leash, and I have an intimate conversation with Dr. Michael Blackwell. He is an extraordinary public servant who has spent 23 years serving the citizens of the United States in various ways. He was the Assistant Surgeon General of the U.S. He is a DVM, so that's kind of unusual right there, because he is a veterinarian, and his whole history is just a fascinating conversation. But what he's doing today with Alliance Care, it's extraordinary. He is helping people who can't afford vet bills find a way to be able to afford veterinary bills, because the concept is that pets are an integral part of people's lives, their mental health, their physical health. And this is something that can be addressed, but you have to look systemically at it, almost from the biggest perspective possible. And that is what he is doing in a way that only someone who has been in government and public service can look at, because it involves a lot of different constituencies and looking at where the money is and how to change things. It's an amazing example of what can happen if someone says, let's rethink this whole system.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for me, one of the things that he touched on that was very thought-provoking was, he said there is this slightly, can I say slightly right wing? I don't want to venture here, but it is a slightly right wing view that, you know, if you can't afford vet bills, then you shouldn't have a dog. And then he breaks down, well, okay, the people who can't afford vet bills are sometimes the essential workers who we relied on so much during COVID, and the teachers and the nurses and the people doing the really essential jobs in our world. Do we say to them, you can't have a pet? And it's absolutely right, because pets provide a really important emotional support for people. And we have to find a way through this problem of people not being able to afford vet care. It's really, really important.
It's a good it's a good interview. Please check it out. That's at longleashshow.com. And then what else do we have on DPN this week?
So Dog Cancer Answers, there's a new episode out about that, which is about the early dog cancer warning signs. Now, this is something that obviously causes people a lot of anxiety. If you've got aging dogs, you know, it feels like a ticking time bomb, doesn't it? You worry about your dog developing cancer, and particularly with growths, which are often very, you know, they're benign, aren't they? And so they're not something necessarily to worry about on their own, but
they can be. They
can be.
You don't know, and you can't just tell by looking at it or palpating it. That's what Dr. Vale talks about.
Exactly. And one of the things he talks about is the importance of having those regular health checks. And in fact, my parents have been in with their pet to have their health check just this week. They were saying how wonderful our vet is. So that's good to hear. Yeah, exactly.
It's a good conversation. And Dr. David Vale is one of the few veterinary oncologists in the world. Really, there are a very small group of people who are just dedicated to veterinary oncology, and we bring them to you on Dog Cancer Answers, and you can find that at dogcanceranswers.com. All of these shows and an entire back catalog are some things that you can find if you go to shows.dogpodcastnetwork.com, and you can see all the shows that DPN puts out and look at any of the past episodes.
Yes.
You can't look at the future episodes because
that's
why you got to subscribe.
Yeah.
And that's why you subscribe in your favorite podcast app or on YouTube.
Well, and you know, a lot of people are going to be doing long journeys over Christmas. And I want to emphasize how much Dog Edition is a great family listen. It's, if you're going to, you know, download that, stick it on your phone, have it through the stereo in the car. It's something that you can listen to that whiles away the time if you're doing long journeys, and that the kids can listen to as well, because we always make it family friendly. So
always, we are definitely kid friendly, family friendly, and we make an effort to do that because we know that everyone loves dogs. So check us out. I'm going to get back to Chloe, who is enjoying a little nap on my lap. And
guess what I'm doing tomorrow, Jim?
What?
You've forgotten already. Talking of long journeys,
you are going to Paris.
I am indeed. Yes. So yes, that's going to be fun. I'm off for the weekend to Gay Paris.
I am looking forward to hearing and I hope you eat well. You said you were not going to eat in preparation for this trip.
Oh, I forgot that bit. My daughter did ask me if I could bring back a croissant for her, and I think probably by the time it was back for her, it wouldn't have been the best condition. You know, you've got to have them fresh, haven't you? Yeah,
I think she'll be very happy if you bring back a 4 or 5 hour old croissant.
Okay, I may give that a try, and I'll report back next week and let you know how it went.
Make sure it's a chocolate one. That way, then that'll provide the moisture that it needs on the long journey under the channel.
Yeah.
Okay, take care. We look forward to your report next week, and hope you will join us at Dog Podcast Network and get some good podcasts to listen to as you begin your holiday trips wherever they are. Aloha.